How do other languages categorize words differently than English? Imagine trying to organize a closet where everything is sorted differently from what you're used to. Languages around the world do something similar with words. Instead of sticking to the familiar list of nouns, verbs, adjectives, and so on, many languages have their own ways of grouping words. For example, English usually recognizes about 8 or 9 parts of speech, but other languages might have more or fewer categories. Spanish, for instance, has 9 parts of speech, just like English, but it makes a clear distinction between words that change form to show gender or number and those that don't. This is called grammatical gender and number, and it's more obvious in Spanish than in English. Some languages like Turkish or indigenous languages such as Topi and Guarani combine categories or reduce them to just 2 or 3. They might have only verbs and non-verbs or nouns and verbs, which makes their system quite different from ours. Many languages also mark grammatical features directly on words. Spanish adjectives, for example, change to match the gender and number of the nouns they describe. If the noun is feminine and singular, the adjective will change accordingly. English adjectives stay the same no matter what, but in Spanish they shift. This affects how sentences are built and how words are used. The order of words can also change. In English, we usually put adjectives before nouns, like big house. In Spanish, it's common to put adjectives after nouns, like casa grande. These differences influence how parts of speech are understood and taught. Phonetics and pronunciation also play a role. Some languages inflect verbs more heavily, adding suffixes or prefixes that show tense, mood, or aspect. Others may use specific sounds or patterns to identify parts of speech. For example, in some languages, verbs carry more inflectional endings, making them stand out more than in English. Some languages even have unique categories that don't exist in English, like a general modifier category instead of separate adjectives and adverbs. West Greenlandic, for example, uses verbs to express qualities that English would call adjectives. Navajo condenses many parts of speech into just 3 main groups: nouns, verbs, and particles. These differences affect how dictionaries list words. In languages with gendered nouns, you will see gender markers next to words. In languages with combined categories, you might find fewer separate entries. Understanding these variations helps when learning new languages or translating. It also shows how flexible and diverse language systems can be. So, in summary, other languages categorize words differently by changing the number of parts of speech, how they mark grammatical features, and how they arrange words in sentences. These differences reflected each language's unique rules and ways of expressing ideas.